A giant catastrophic oil spill in California. It ranks as one of the worst in decades. A huge oil spill killing wildlife, threatening California's beaches on Monday in what officials said amounted to an environmental catastrophe. Birds and fish had begun washing up on the shore as a 126-gallon slick of crude oil choked the waters south of Los Angeles after spewing from a pipeline connected to an offshore rig. A 15-mile or 24-kilometer stretch of coastline closed to the public now, and fishing, of course, halted as crews scrambled to clean up one of California's biggest spills in decades in Newport Beach. Beaches could remain closed for weeks or even months. Huntington Beach Mayor Kim Carr warned. She said, "Our wetlands are being degraded and portions of our coastline are completely covered in oil." The U.S. Coast Guard, which is coordinating the response, said the oil amounted to less than 3% of the spill plume, estimated to be 5.8 nautical miles long, had been recovered, and that more than a mile of oil containment booms had been deployed. Unfortunately, we're starting to see oil covering fish and birds washing up along our coastline, including the protected wetlands. This is what the city of Huntington Beach said on Sunday. Please support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Amplify Energy, the company that operates the pipeline, said Monday that as a precautionary measure, all of the company's production and pipeline operations at the Beta field have been shut down. CEO Martin Wilshire pledged the firm will do whatever needs to be done, he said, to take care of the spill, and said the company has significant insurance to cope with the associated costs of doing this. Wilshire said a remotely operated vehicle had located the probable source of the leak, and divers would be visiting the spot on Monday afternoon. And of course, the destruction is just devastating. Officials warned people not to touch or try to save any wildlife they find, but instead call local authorities to alert them to animals affected by the oil. This is just devastating for our marine life, our habitat, our economies, our entire community, Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley said on Sunday. She said, "Our natural habitat we spent decades building up and creating is just damaged in a day." The spill originated near the Ely platform, which was built in 1980 and is one of 23 oil and gas drilling platforms in federal waters off California, according to Los Angeles Times reports. The disaster has already reignited a debate about the presence of oil rigs and pipelines near the coast of Southern California. "The oil spill is as tragic as it was preventable," said Alan Lowenthal, a Democrat who represents the area in the U.S. Congress. He said this environmental catastrophe highlights the simple fact that where you drill, you spill. This will be devastating not only to our maritime wildlife and ecosystem, but also to the livelihoods of our coastal communities, which are built around fishing, tourism, and recreation. As long as these platforms and pipelines remain, our coastal communities remain under threat for potential disasters like we are now seeing. Oil spills have scarred California for decades. Pictures of dead, oil-covered dolphins and tar-stained beaches off Santa Barbara in 1969 spurred widespread revulsion. California has not granted any permits to drill for oil since then, but the state's jurisdiction extends only 3 miles offshore, and federally sanctioned oil and gas platforms dot the area's seascapes, many of them easily visible from the shore. Environmentalists repeatedly called attention to the age of some of these facilities, which they say are rusty and poorly maintained, and the risks they pose. The nature of the current oil spill has not been determined, but leaks were detected back in 1999 on the pipeline linking 2 platforms in the Beta field, which was then jointly operated by Mobil and Shell, according to Los Angeles Times. The Times wrote in the editorial, "This is why the US needs to end coastal oil drilling." This is from Agence France Presse on Science Alert. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.